Life is a constant exchange. Every choice has a cost, every connection has a price, and every attachment demands something from us. We often think attachments only bring comfort, love, or joy, but we forget that they also bind us, control us, and sometimes even drain us. Whether it's attachment to people, possessions, habits, or even our own egos, nothing comes free. You pay for every attachment with your time, or your freedom, your energy, your peace of mind, or even your growth. Attachments create expectations, and expectations create suffering when they are not met. The more tightly you cling to something, the more it has power over you. It doesn't mean attachments are always bad. Love, friendship, dreams, and passions can elevate life. Wisdom lies in recognizing the cost of what you hold on to. If the price of an attachment is your peace, your dignity, or your freedom, you must ask yourself, is it truly worth it? Remember, life will always demand payment. You either pay with growth and liberation by letting go, or with pain and suffering by holding on. Choose wisely what you attach yourself to, because that choice defines the quality of your journey. When we hear the word attachment, we often think of it as something beautiful, a connection, a bond, a sense of belonging. And yes, attachments can bring warmth, comfort, and love into our lives. But what we often overlook is the hidden cost attached to every attachment we form. Nothing in life comes free, whether it is a relationship, a material possession, a dream, or even an identity we hold on to. Each one demands a payment. Think about the relationships you value most. They require your time, your energy, your patience, and your emotional presence. You can't truly be attached to someone and not pay the price of compromise, responsibility, or sometimes even sacrifice. The deeper the attachment, the higher the price. If that relationship grows and flourishes, the price feels worth it. If the relationship becomes toxic or one-sided, you realize how heavy the cost really was. It is the same with possessions. Car you buy doesn't just cost money at the dealership, it continues to cost you fuel, maintenance, and repairs. The house you dream of owning brings comfort, but it also ties you to bills, taxes, and endless responsibilities. Even your phone, the little device you're attached to, costs you not just money, but also focus, time, and sometimes even your peace of mind. Attachments also exist in the unseen corners of our inner world. We become attached to identities, titles, habits, and even pain. When you are attached to your past, you pay with your present moments. When you are attached to your fears, you pay with missed opportunities. When you are attached to comfort zones, you pay with your growth. Life always collects its fee, sometimes in obvious ways, sometimes silently. So the lesson is this: do not deceive yourself into thinking any attachment is free. It is not. The question is never whether you will pay. The question is always what you are willing to pay, and is it worth it? Freedom is one of the greatest treasures a human being can have. We all desire it. Freedom of thought, freedom of action, freedom to live life on our own terms. Yet the more attachments we form, the more we unknowingly place chains around ourselves. Attachments, no matter how sweet or comforting they seem, often come with invisible locks that restrict the wings of our freedom. Take relationships, for instance. To love is beautiful. When love turns into possessive attachment, freedom vanishes. You cannot speak, act, running through the park, or even breathe without considering how the other person will react. Your choices no longer belong solely to you. They are filtered through the lens of that attachment. What you wear, where you go, who you meet, all become subtly or overtly dictated by the bond you've formed. In such cases, you pay for your attachment with the loss of your independence. Material attachments do the same. The more things you own, more those things begin to own you. If you are attached to wealth, you live in fear of losing it. If you are attached to status, running through the park. You constantly adjust your behavior to maintain it. If you are attached to comfort, you hesitate to take risks that might lead to growth. Every time you cling to something, you restrict your range of movement in life. Even internal attachments rob you of freedom. When you are attached to your past, you replay old wounds and cannot move forward. When you are attached to opinions, whether your own or others, you become enslaved to judgment and approval. When you are attached to your fears, you become trapped inside invisible cages, unable to explore new horizons. In every scenario, freedom is sacrificed. This doesn't mean we should cut ourselves off from everything and leave without connection. True wisdom lies in balancing love and freedom, responsibility and independence. The key is to engage with life without being chained by it. To hold people with love, but not with possession. To enjoy things, but not let them enslave you. To pursue dreams, but not let them dictate your identity. The truth is simple yet profound. Every attachment limits freedom. The tighter you hold on, the less space you give yourself to breathe. And if you are not careful, the very attachments you once thought gave your life meaning may become the very prisons that suffocate your spirit. Wherever there is attachment, expectations follow like a shadow. We attach ourselves to people, possessions, careers, and even our own ideals, and in return, we begin to expect. We expect loyalty, we expect appreciation, we expect permanence, we expect life to unfold in the way we imagine. But life, in its unpredictable nature, doesn't bow down to our expectations. And when reality collides with the fantasies we create, suffering is born. Think about it. When you are deeply attached to someone, you don't just love them, you expect them to act a certain way. You expect them to always understand you, to never betray you, to always prioritize you. But what happens when they fail to meet those expectations? Disappointment, anger, heart-touch. Bond that once felt sweet turns sour because the price of attachment was paid in the currency of unmet expectations. Material attachments tell the same story. You buy a new car and expect it to bring you lasting joy, but the joy fades and the expenses pile up. You pursue a career and expect it to give you recognition and respect, but when people fail to notice your efforts, frustration rises. You post something online and expect validation through likes and comments. When that validation doesn't come, you feel invisible. The mind is a factory of expectations. It creates scenarios of how things should be, and when reality does not align, you suffer. The deeper the attachment, the greater the expectation, and the greater the expectation, the deeper the pain when it's not fulfilled. In this way, attachments often become ticking time bombs of disappointment. But here lies a subtle truth. It's not love, not ambition, not dreams that cause suffering. It's the expectations tied to them. You can love without demanding. You can work without entitlement. You can pursue dreams without chaining yourself to a rigid outcome. When you release expectations, you allow life to flow as it is, not as you wish it to be. Suffering is not mandatory. It's a byproduct of clinging too tightly to how we think life must unfold. Freedom, peace, and happiness come when we replace expectations with appreciation, when we trade entitlement for gratitude, and when we allow people, things, running through the park, and moments to simply be what they are. So remember this truth: the weight of expectation is heavier than the attachment itself. You choose to attach, do so with awareness, because if your love, your work, or your dreams are rooted in rigid expectation, you are planting seeds of inevitable suffering. Energy is life. Every day, we wake up with a limited reservoir of physical strength, mental focus, emotional stability. How we spend this energy determines the quality of our lives. Some things replenish our energy. Attachments, especially unhealthy ones, slowly drain it, leaving us exhausted, distracted, and often empty. When you are overly attached to people, you constantly worry about their opinions, their approval, and their reactions. Running through the park. You spend sleepless over words they said or didn't say, or over actions they took or didn't take. Your emotional energy is spent not on growth, not on creativity, not on peace, but on overthinking, anxiety, and stress. The weight of attachment drains your spirit like a leaky bucket that never stays full. Think about toxic relationships. You give your energy endlessly, arguing, explaining, sacrificing, pleasing, and trying to fix what cannot be fixed. Every argument leaves you drained, every silent treatment leaves you weak, and every compromise eats away at your inner strength. This is the heavy tax of attachment. You may not notice it at first, but over time, you feel constantly tired, not because of work, not because of life's natural demands, but because your attachments are draining your life force. Material attachments do the same. The more you own, the more you worry. A person attached to wealth doesn't just enjoy it, they constantly fear losing it. A person attached to possessions spends energy protecting, maintaining, and upgrading them. A person attached to status burns energy competing, comparing, and proving themselves. What should have brought joy instead becomes a never-ending cycle of tension and restlessness. Even inner attachments consume energy. If you are attached to your past, you replay old memories, regrets, and mistakes, draining mental space you could use for building your present. If you are attached to your fears, you spend energy imagining worst-case scenarios instead of taking bold actions. If you are attached to control, you exhaust yourself trying to micromanage life, forgetting that much of it will always be outside your grasp. This is why so many people feel tired, even when they haven't done much. Their body is not exhausted, but their mind and heart are. Attachments act like silent parasites, feeding off the energy you could be investing in joy, peace, and growth. The solution is not to run away from life, but to learn balance. Love people, but don't cling to them. Enjoy possessions, don't let them own you. Chase dreams, but don't lose your soul in the process. Protect your energy the way you protect your wealth, because unlike money, energy cannot be regained once wasted on the wrong things. Always remember, true cost of attachment is not just pain or disappointment. It is the slow, silent draining of your most valuable resource, your energy. And when your energy is gone, your ability to live fully, create deeply, and love freely disappears with it. When we speak of attachment, the word often carries a heavy tone, as though every bond, every connection, and every desire only leads to suffering. This is not the full truth. Not all attachments are negative. Some attachments give life meaning, beauty, and direction. Without them, human existence would feel hollow and disconnected. The wisdom lies not in eliminating all attachments, in choosing them with awareness and balance. Take love, for example. Love is an attachment. You grow attached to your parents, your partner, your children, your friends. This attachment brings responsibility, sacrifice, and even vulnerability, but it also brings joy, warmth, and purpose. Imagine a life without these connections. It may be free, but it would also feel cold and empty. Certain attachments are the very threads that weave our lives into something beautiful. Then there is attachment to dreams and passions. A musician attached to music will pour endless hours into mastering it. An athlete attached to their sport will endure pain, discipline, and failure just to touch greatness. A seeker attached to truth will sacrifice comfort to pursue wisdom. These attachments come with a price, hardship, sweat, sacrifice, but they also elevate the human spirit, turn ordinary lives into extraordinary legacies. Even attachments to values and principles can be positive. When you are attached to honesty, you may lose opportunities where dishonesty might benefit you, but you gain self-respect and inner peace. When you are attached to kindness, You may be taken advantage of at times, but you spread light in a world that often feels dark. Running through the park. These attachments don't imprison you, they liberate you because they align with your higher self. The difference between destructive and uplifting attachments lies in whether they enslave you or empower you. Toxic attachments drain your energy, chain your freedom, and fill your life with suffering. But meaningful attachments inspire growth, deepen love, and bring fulfillment. Life is not about cutting off every bond or detaching from everything. Life is about conscious attachment. To hold on to what nurtures your soul while releasing what poisons your spirit. To choose connections, passions, and values that expand your life, not shrink it. So yes, every attachment has a price, but some prices are worth paying. The price of raising a child, the price of chasing a dream, price of staying true to your values. These are not losses, they are investments into a richer, deeper life. Key is to know which attachments are worth the cost and which ones are silently robbing you of peace. Life constantly confronts us with two choices: to hold on or to let go. Every attachment we form eventually forces us to face this question. Here's the truth: both holding on and letting go come with a cost. The difference lies in what you are paying with and what you are gaining in return. When you hold on to something, you often pay with your peace of mind. You cling to a relationship long past its health, and it drains you with constant arguments, unmet needs, and emotional exhaustion. You hold on to possessions, and you pay with anxiety over protecting them or sadness when they decay. You hold on to an identity or a past version of yourself, and you pay with stagnation because you stop growing into who you could become. Holding on may feel safe because it gives the illusion of control, but in reality, it suffocates your spirit. The cost is heavy sleepless nights, restless days, diminished self-worth, and a future sacrificed for the comfort of the familiar. But letting go is not free either. Comes with its own price. Letting go means stepping into the unknown, facing discomfort, and enduring the pain of separation. When you let go of a relationship, you may feel loneliness. When you let go of a dream that no longer serves you, you may feel emptiness. When you let go of old beliefs, you may feel lost for a time. The cost of letting go is temporary pain, grief, and uncertainty. However, there is a profound difference in the kind of pain you experience. The pain of holding on is endless. It keeps repeating. It weighs you down, chains your future. The pain of letting go, though sharp, is temporary. It burns for a while, but then it heals, it frees, opens the door for something new. Think of a tree in autumn. The tree doesn't cling to its leaves out of fear of being bare. It lets go, trusting that spring will bring new growth. Likewise, when we let go, we create space for new experiences, new relationships, new opportunities, and new growth. Without letting go, we remain stuck in yesterday, never reaching tomorrow. So the real wisdom is not in avoiding pain, running through the park, but in choosing the kind of pain that leads to freedom. Will you pay the lifelong cost of clinging to what hurts you? Or will you pay the temporary cost of letting go so that life can renew itself within you? Remember, the cost of holding on is your peace. Cost of letting go is your comfort. One drains you forever, the other heals you eventually. The choice is yours, but the price is inevitable. Life is not about escaping every bond or cutting off every tie. It is about making wise choices about what and whom you attach yourself to. Because every attachment shapes you, influences you, and ultimately defines the quality of your journey. What you cling to will either nourish you or poison you. And since you pay for every attachment, wisdom lies in paying only for those that add real value to your life. Think for a moment. Some people attach themselves to money so deeply that they sacrifice health, relationships, and inner peace for it. Others attach themselves to toxic people who drain their joy but remain out of fear of being alone. Others attach themselves to their comfort zones, never taking risks, and in doing so, they sacrifice growth, potential, and destiny. These are examples of unwise attachments, choices that steal far more than they give. Now contrast that with wise attachments. When you attach yourself to learning, you may pay with time and effort, but you gain wisdom that no one can take away. When you attach yourself to kindness, you may pay with vulnerability, but you gain a heart that inspires and heals others. When you attach yourself to purpose, you may pay with long nights, hard work, and sacrifices, but you gain a life of meaning that fills your soul with fulfillment. The key is not to avoid attachment, but to ask, is the price I am paying worth the return I am receiving? If the answer is yes, if the attachment helps you grow, deepens your love, and expands your spirit, then it is a worthy bond. But if the attachment costs your dignity, peace, or freedom, then no matter how familiar it feels, it is too expensive. Choosing attachments wisely means being intentional. It means looking at your relationships and asking, do they build me or do they break me? It means looking at your habits and asking, do they empower me or do they weaken me? It means looking at your desires and asking, do they liberate me or do they enslave me? The truth is, attachments are powerful forces. They can lift you to greatness or drag you into misery. The difference lies in your choice. Every day, consciously or unconsciously, you decide what to hold on to and what to let go of. Those decisions become the architecture of your destiny. So, choose with awareness. Choose with courage. Choose with wisdom. Attach yourself only to that which helps you grow, love, and live fully. Because in the end, you will pay for every attachment. And it is far better to invest in attachments that enrich your soul than to waste yourself on ones that diminish it. My friends, life is a constant exchange. Nothing comes free, not even the things we love most. Every attachment demands something from us. Our time, our energy, our freedom, our peace. Some attachments break us, some elevate us, but all of them shape us. The wisdom of life is not in denying attachments, but in understanding them, weighing their cost, and choosing them wisely. Hold on to what nourishes your soul and release what drains your spirit. Love deeply, but don't cling blindly. Dream boldly. Don't let your dreams enslave you. In the end, we are not defined by how much we held on to, by how wisely we chose what to give ourselves to. Because you will pay for every attachment. So let every payment be an investment in peace and love.